she Babylon this bee. I want to see this. I want to see Bill Burr.
Talk to you about this project, this movie that you're working on, because it's something that you and I have talked about, because we are friends. We have dined together. We've hung out. Our wives have hung out.
Just pictures with big chalices and candelabras. Conan.
We did. I had a suit of armor brought in and put in the corner. You're talking about this movie that you've made is a subject that's near and dear to your heart. It's about being dads. Older dads, right?
Old dads, yeah.
Old dads.
There was something that came about by, not getting my shit together and having kids really late in life. Like I'm 54, my kids are 5 and 2. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize like how much the world had changed. Like my daughter's in kindergarten now, and I was in kindergarten 50 years ago. So just the whole way that they teach, like everything, literally, I'd be like, "Oh, you're in the jungle gym," and she'd be like, "It's called the structure." and then I'd be like, "Yeah," and then I'd be like, "Oh my God, I said jungle. Am I, was that borderline racist now? Like, what did I just say?" And you just start freaking out. And
is that for real?
Sort of, it lives sort of in that world, and then also all of this world now of where, you go back into somebody's Twitter account 8 years. And find a bad tweet, and they're like, "This is who this guy is. This guy's an asshole." And it's like, I always looked at it like, you had to go back 8 years before this guy was an asshole. That's an amazing, like, Lou Gehrig run of not being an asshole. If you went 7 years, like, this guy was totally cool, but in 2014, that one random Wednesday, he was really in a mood.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. Someone who, I lean left. I'm not 100%.
This is why Bill Burr is brilliant. I've talked about cancel culture and all this dumb shit associated with it a million times over, and I had never fucking thought about angling it that way. That's a comedian. Like, he's very good. He's very good. That is a funny-ass fucking take about cancel culture. Straight up.
Left, it's sort of like, I just thought that whole era was really fascinating to watch people like just trying to just sort of ruin people. Like I understood the beginning of it when they were going after these monstrous people, but then it just became this like these ticky-tack misdemeanors bullshit, and they would just burn them down. It was like a Frankenstein movie. Like they were all coming up the fucking hill. So it's sort of, subtly lives in that world too.
Right. And one of the things that I relate to you on is we both come from, like I say, a similar part of the country. I'm a little bit older than you, but I do relate very much.
Two gingers!
When you talk about being a dad, you often relate it to when you were contrasted with when we were kids. And that's something that hits home with me because, I had kids later in life. Now they're teenagers. But in the early stages, I remember thinking this does not resemble the childhood that I have in any way.
Yeah.
Because first of all, the fact that so much care and attention is spent on each child was something that was, no, I'm not saying that. I love my parents, but it was a different attitude. There were 6 of us. And I remember very clearly at any given time, if you ask my mother or my father, where's Conan? They'd be like, I don't know, he's, no one knew exactly where you were.
They just sent you outside. Like that was a lot of it. They just sort of sent you outside and you went out and you just met other kids your age and came up with stuff to do when you were outside. And then eventually you ran into older kids and then they just beat the shit out of you. And then
this is why.
And then you came
up. Or a beehive. Which is like a side quest. Like you just brave the elements. Yeah. The funniest way to look at that and go, yay, trauma. Like, who cares, man? It's like, it's fine. I'm not saying it's better than the way that, did that happen to you? Yes, bro. Yes, there was a fucking beehive in a fucking mailbox, and I'm the idiot that, tried to throw stones at it, okay? Yeah, of course. Fucking Zoomers are like, yay, trauma. Like, shut up. I'm not one of these like Babylon B type motherfuckers, but like, goddamn, sometimes the way you, I don't know, the way you analyze things is so want to be academic.
Like I did a cartoon for Netflix called Episode.
But I would rather be bullied like I was mercilessly in fucking real life than cyberbullied like some of these kids now. It's not like kids change. They're still fucking demons, dog. They're still insane. Some of you are literally either in the process of being bullied or also conducting some of that cyberbullying at the moment. Now, you got more tools. It's like phones made it so that your boss can access you 24/7 and your productivity increase. Now bullies can access you 24/7. There's nowhere to go. You get fucking pantsed at school, you get physically bullied at school, and then you get cyberbullied when you go home. It's almost worse.
For family, one of the first episodes is a scene where the young me and his friend are up in a tree and these guys start throwing rocks at us and shooting fireworks. And that was based on a true story. There wasn't fireworks, but it was just me and a friend of mine were climbing trees. We're just climbing a tree because that's what you did before there was no internet. That was going online, climbing a tree and risking your life. So we climbed up this tree and these bigger kids came by and they saw us up there and they just started throwing rocks at us until their arms got tired. We were up there like crying, getting hit in the ankles and in the back. And then you just climb down the tree, and then those guys are assholes.
But I remember that, and I bring this up because the minute that my daughter could drive or my son could drive, my wife would check and she could show me on the phone where they were. And I thought that's just blows my mind. It doesn't.
Like J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah. It doesn't feel right to me that we are that accountable all the time. And sometimes I wonder if I'm just jealous of. There's like a care and attention.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? And I wonder because when I watch your comedy, when I watched you at Red Rocks, and anytime you're talking about your child or your dad, how the house was tense or there was anger, people weren't dealing with things appropriately. I think, I know what you're talking about. It was an era, and I think I sometimes, when I'm seeing my family and my wife's handling everything so beautifully, for some reason, I become enraged.
No, I get that.
Why? Where was it? What do you mean? You're looking him in the eye and talking to them? What?
Weeby did not link this. I linked it. I found it, and I clicked on it, and I'm excited to watch it, so suck my dick. I like Conan. I think he's great, and I love Bill Burr. So I appreciate it. Okay? Don't you dare skip me. What is this? HL, no, that's wrong, right? Oh, let's just forgo and move on. So, how's your day? Don't you dare skip me. I demand to answer now. I don't know how to respond to this, okay? I'm not going to skip that. I'm going to answer it. My day is great. And if you want to skip the top of the hour ad break that's coming right now, well, then all you need to do is subscribe, and your day will be great too. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. An uninterrupted broadcasting experience is available to you. So, hey, Bozo, thank you for the 5, get the subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the woman ad break now. I'm not going to look at turkey slander. I don't care. HasanAbi, please watch turkey slander. Search in YouTube. No.
What is this?
I totally get that. I remember one time being in I forget, grocery store or something like that. And I saw this kid.
Travis Scat, thank you for the 5 gifted.
And his mother went over and started hugging him and comforting him. And I just felt this urge to go over and trip this little kid. And then another time, I remember the grocery store, because that's where a lot of moms have the kids and stuff. And this kid was going like, "Yeah, Mom, can I have candy?" And she was just like, "No." And then he started crying, and it made me laugh. I was want to be like, "Yeah, get used to that, kid." So
you enjoy the unhappiness and pain of a child.
I thought I did, but when I realized it had nothing to do with the kid. That was just me with all of my bullshit. I was jealous of the kid who was getting hugged, and then I was laughing at the other kid because I related. Like, I remember when a long time ago I saw Sling Blade when it was in the movie theater, and I remember when he zoomed that guy out of the house in the wheelchair. He's like, "Get out of my fucking house!" And he zoomed him out, and the guy was all helpless. I roared with laughter, and I remember I was with these actors that I was working on something, and they looked at me in this horrified way.
Right.
And I couldn't explain it. You had to be a comedian to understand. Like, I think actors and comedians, they process pain differently.
Right.
Where actors, I think, are more like examining it, where comedians, you just pave it over, and it's like, you're just laughing, not because you're happy that happened to someone in a wheelchair. You're just laughing at just how fucking mean it was. I told you about this. That one time my wife was on the plane with me, and we were going somewhere far, so she had like a tablet, and I started watching a movie, and she had fallen asleep, and I was watching a movie, and I was laughing so hard I woke her up, and then she, you know, when you don't know what somebody's laughing at, and you just start laughing, she's like, "What are you laughing at?" And I was trying to hide it, and she looked, and I was watching Precious. I don't know if
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It was literally,
Oh my God!
some shit. It just gets so mean. It's just so mean. It pushes
you
through
over. Yeah.
into comedy again. The mother said something so fucking mean, and then they just cut to her face, and she was so sad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being honest. I was wheezing. I was literally like laying in the.
So
I was laughing so hard. The woman I didn't know on the other side of my wife was laughing, and then my wife started punching me in the shoulder. I just gave her like the tablet. No, that's one of my favorite things.
It'd be great if you were a movie
my wife
critic.
has such
It really
a
would
big
be great.
heart, and we're always watching TV, and she's forever getting teared up, and I'm laughing my ass off. Like, she used to watch The Biggest Loser, and these fat people would be crying about all the cookies and burgers they were eating. And they were crying like they lost a dog or something. And she would be crying with them, and I would just be laughing my ass off.
So.
No, most of the world is starving. That's why. Like, I went to like India, and I saw this level of poverty that I just maybe want to adopt every kid over here. And then you just come back to America, and there's these slovenly people. I just can't stop eating Oreos. And it was just so fucking hilarious.
Oh.
And
this won't air.
and then it's like,
I can't do this.
This won't come
and then
out.
what it is because my wife
No one will ever hear this.
my wife gets mad at me for laughing. It makes it like, oh, dude, I have worse ones than that. I got worse ones than
We
that.
might as well get it out now because
I can't
you're
say
safe.
this one to protect people. You guys aren't going to laugh at this one because you're told you're not supposed to.
No, that's not this crowd.
All right,
This is
some dude beat the shit out of his girlfriend, right?
Well, you're off to a good start. You know how to get a crowd. You had them. You're like, yeah, I can top that.
How else are you supposed to watch the news? Am I really supposed to be going like, oh, for the whole time? Or you can laugh. I mean, it's a choice.
I have to
Like,
go.
how does it help me?
But how? Okay, I want to hear you pull this out.
So my wife was so sad about it that I had to make a joke because I wasn't mature enough to be sad with her.
Right.
So I was going like, what do you think she said? What do you think that last thing
for
she
God's
said, right?
sake.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So she gets all mad, right? So she got really mad.
Why did she?
I'm not laughing at that. That's terrible.
She's lovely. I've met her. She's wonderful.
So then like a week later, my mother-in-law comes over, right? The fucking story comes on the news. And after the story's over, she goes, I know I shouldn't say this. My wife goes, Mom, don't say it. And she just goes, I wonder what the last thing she said was. And I died laughing. My mother-in-law died laughing, and my wife
Jumped out of the room.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, neither one of us beat her up. So, like, she can't hear us laugh. I'm not happy that happened.
This is a deeply, deeply strange response of a grown adult to suffering in the world. I wonder why he doesn't have any other skills to respond to problems that are beyond his own. Bro, he already said it's a coping mechanism. Like, he's admitting it. Like, the joke in that situation. Okay. We're back to the HasanAbi corner, where HasanAbi explains jokes and the concept of laughter to a bunch of leftists who maybe sometimes also happen to be neurodivergent. Okay. Now, in that situation, sometimes, not always, okay? In that situation, the joke comes from the obvious worst response that you can have. Bill Burr, as we all understand it, is, of course, anti-domestic violence, okay? This is a real problem that impacts plenty of partners, and it is usually also very, there's always one sex or one, there's always one gender that is a victim in a lot of these circumstances. So what Bill Burr is doing here is basically saying the worst possible thing he could say. It's like a dead baby joke. When someone makes a dead baby joke, they don't literally mean like, that's awesome that babies are dying. It's kind of like when I say, when I laugh at children in pain. Like, it's funny. You can laugh in that situation. It's okay. Like, it's not, or if something happens, I go, like a kid is like bullied or something, and I say, what about the vibes of the kid? Were the kid's vibes fucked? Basically the same thing. Okay? It's just a way to undercut, through hyperbole, the seriousness of an environment.
Well,
I don't understand what the fucking news is. It's just like, hey, here's a bunch of shit you can't fix that happened that was horrible. Do you know at my gym, they literally play CNN, and it's just the whole state of California's on fire, school shootings and shit. It's like, I'm coming here to get away from this shit. I'm on a fucking elliptical, and I gotta watch people's houses burning down.
Right.
How long are you you're trying to make this seem like 3 hours on the elliptical? So we should be showing, like, I don't know, Dumb and Dumber. I think this is going good, Cone.
I think it's going really well. I think it's going.
That was pretty funny.
Now, what about when you're doing your sets in a comedy club? Have you?
It's okay until the point you start to defend it. What do you mean? I'm not defending anything here other than defending the principle of laughter and how, like, the mechanics of laughter works. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people on the left that don't comprehend that. That's it.
Do you have people that get into it with you that say, okay, you've crossed the line, I don't like this, or do they mostly?
At this point, people are coming because they like what I do.
Bro, some chatters are insane. Yes, but I think it's an important part of community building here at the HasanAbi broadcast to sometimes defend the concept of jokes and the principle that is, like, laughter is fine. No, like, I think, like, every time I have this conversation, there's at least 1,000 fucking weird, like, new leftists who go, okay, maybe it's okay to laugh sometimes, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking. I legitimately believe that there are people in this chat who are like, who think that it's completely inappropriate to laugh. Like, across the board. Do you apply that same logic to Chappelle stuff? Yes, most of his shit, not the transphobia stuff.